Let's talk about lawns. They are the classic way a stereotypical American dad can showcase beauty and elegance. But lawns also serve important ecological purposes. It is essential that we, as an urbanized society, change our narrative from beautification to ecological importance to encourage our native pollinator populations. Our native pollinators are bees and wasps and butterflies and birds, and by simply starting with a few square feet of flowers, we can help our helpers. I'm a sophomore in environmental science and conservation, so this is what I love. I have a sweatshirt that says soil on it. I love it and I live this. And other places like Lawrence University also love and live this. And there is research behind pollinator health and how lawns can help pollinators. Because, after all, pollinators allow us to garden and to farm and grow plants in wild environments and controlled environments. If we cannot support them, they cannot support us. And we, as a planetary team, will suffer. But with a few steps as homeowners, we can also thrive. And it's pretty easy too, but we first need to know why our current lawn culture is not the best and how we can venture into some solutions and into some research to improve that culture. So let's start with two problems: homogeneous lawns and cutting height. Homogeneous lawns are made up of one species of plant. Let's just say a lawn is made up of Kentucky bluegrass. Well, let's say Kentucky bluegrass has a weakness to droughts, and then all of a sudden, a drought strikes. My whole lawn, which is made out of Kentucky bluegrass, dies. That's not good. All my plants are dead. And not only does that look ugly, but it's also bad for bees and ants because they have nothing there. It's all dead. With cutting height, we run into issues because when we do cut our lawns, we end up cutting them very short. According to Michigan State Extension, a lot of the culture says 1.5 inches for lawn height. That's from this blue line down to the edge of the note card. But they're suggesting that we let our lawns grow up to 3 inches. That's from this pink line down to the end of that note card. And municipalities who have lawn height regulations, this fits in with them. So they're not preventing us, but our culture is. So let's brainstorm some solutions then, because we have this problem of, same species lawns and short grasses. So how can we solve that? 1, gardens. Large gardens, small gardens, vegetable gardens, flower gardens. Anything to increase our biodiversity can help. Growing from that, if we take that garden or we take these small dedicated spaces for diverse plants and we expand that to native plant populations, we can even do better. We can do better than just some clover and some dandelions. These are considered weeds, but they still help in diversity of life, but we can do better than that. We can plant native plants as well. And organizations like the Sierra Club or even some places in Madison offer these resources for free to encourage native pollinator plants to be planted. But we can take it one step further and we can plant flowering trees. Trees are far more resilient than grasses, and they grow for much more longer time, and they provide a lot more because it's a big tree. It's not just some grass in the ground. So some plants that we can, or some trees we can plant are star magnolia, which if you've ever gone walking by Bridgeway, it's the beautiful trees with the white flowers. And they flower and they flower and they look amazing, and they do amazing things as well for bees and birds and butterflies and all the other pollinators. So what are the results? The results are improvement in pollinator health, as seen by the Michigan State University Extension. They publish plentiful findings and research and studies about, lawn height and pesticide usage. And then Lawrence University last year during May did a large extensive study in Appleton. 435 homeowners participated in No Mow May, where they didn't mow their lawns, and they saw 300% increase of bee activity and 500% increase of bee density. So the bees were working more, and then there were more bees in general working as well. So these are things that can help. So rewriting our narrative to be better aligned with nature and its many facets can change our lives for the better. Better greenery, better air quality, better water quality even. But before we can get ahead of ourselves, we need to take a step back, and implement these minor changes, from not mowing as short to even planting trees, to produce these major results. Talk to your family. You're my speech teacher, so talk to yourself. Talk to those with whom you live, and take the small steps that you can, that I can, that we can, to rebuild a biosphere full of care and responsibility. We can save our precious bees and butterflies and birds, and even with a few more square footage of gardens or tall prairie grasses, or even a better lawn care culture with mowing, we can save some gasoline too.